Now he's by himself. And he's living in Middleburg. He got a home there in Middleburg somewhere. Lives down there. Got a new automobile, but he has to get somebody to drive it. He can't drive. He'll come to trading post sometimes. He'll have 3 or 4 guns.
Is that right?
And ain't got enough strength.
Well,
ain't got enough grip to shoot one.
How in the world did you ever get the fooling with these? You just like them all your life. I know you've always gunsmithed on them and traded on them and shot them.
They ain't got nothing else to do. Oh yeah, they won't let me make whiskey. And
That's what we were going to ask you. Where did you learn to make it? Is that up on the hill?
on Brush Mountain?
Yeah.
No, I learned on Stone Mountain, but I made in Brush Mountain. And here on Wallen's Creek, I made 17 years right in that holler up there. What do they call it?
That's right.
Somebody report you or?
No, first wife.
You and Larry made a lot together, didn't you?
Yeah.
Well, let me ask you.
We had a cabin right in yonder, buddy, way in the head of that holler yonder, across the little. See them 2 white spots?
Yeah.
Right smack in the center of them white spots now, down this ways, a little bit there. We had a cabin in a big field, corn field. We never did pack a grain of that corn out of there.
You packed it out, but not everything.
Proud it, buddy. We'd carry the meal up, we'd buy a meal, you know, over the ground, pack it up there, and sprout the corn and make whiskey. But I got caught in 70, that's been 14 years ago. I ain't made none since.
Well, it's got now, they tell me, to where you can't afford to make it, taxed whiskey is cheaper. Well, let me ask you this. Now, I know Daddy, I used to come down here with Daddy. I come down here more than Harry and Tommy did. He'd come down here with you and him or Larry, y'all, Larry. What his name, Larry or Larry?
Larry. Larry, ain't it?
Yeah.
So, y'all would always...
We called him Larry.
Yeah, you was living right down there.
Yeah.
Y'all would always... I know what they're doing. You know, Daddy's buying him a gal or 2 or whatever. But anyway, I've heard these people down there in Mississippi where I live at now tell me that you can't compare good-made white to taxed whiskey. They tell me, I never took a drink of it, but they tell me that there ain't no comparison to it. Now, is that true or is that just in their head?
You mean white government whiskey?
No, like you all made against what the government made.
Oh, ours is a whole lot the best.
Well, that's what they said.
Yeah.
Well, what made it so much better?
Well, they don't use no malt. The government don't. We made malt whiskey. See, that's the reason I said we never did pack a grain of corn out of there. We sprouted that corn, and that made better whiskey.
You made your own...
We made our own stuff. We didn't put hops and this and that and hominy meal, hog feed. Hominy meal's hog feed, buddy. The government uses that. Man, they'll pour a vat full of, half full of that and little warm water in it in 3 days, and they'll dump it full of something else, and then in 3 more days they'll run it. That's what you get.
And how would you all do your all?
Well, we'd cook a meal and dump it in a wood barrel, you know. And today, go back tomorrow and take your 50-gallon barrel, you know. You'd take a peck or a half bushel of malt, you know, and dump it in there and break it up, stir it up in warm water. And if you want a little sugar in it, put a little sugar or whatever you want to in it, peaches or anything. Work it off and run it off.
Oh, I know that.
You got something fitting to drink.
Jack Dillard. Now you all listen to this. He was working at Glidden Spread Set.
Yeah.
He got him. Lurie needed a worm, and Lurie told him, "You go and buy a copper, you know, they'd try to check on you and everything." So Jack said he walked in the shower room and bent that copper 3/4 inch around the locker, and then he backed up out here as long as it was and just started
Twisting that way.
twisting it till he got all the way up there and had to quit, and then he put his overcoat on and walked out of that place with it wrapped around him.
Who done that?
Jack Dillard. It's Joey, Mama's sister, baby sister Joey's husband, and brought it down here. Larry got it to the house. Then I said, "Well, Jack, hard to get out. He said, no, but it was hard driving that car coming home. And then when he got home, Joey got him out of it. So when he got home, Joey got him out of it. He brought it down here on vacation and brought it to Lurie. Him and Daddy brought it over there, and Lurie traded him to give him some whiskey for it to carry it back, you know, when he's carrying the water stick with it. But he told me that's how he got it out, that plant up there.
Well, one time, I bought some pizzas off somebody, not some old lady. She canned them pizzas, and I took them pizza seeds. Them big pizza seeds, you know, open stone. I took them up there and planted them some bitches up there. And about 4 years, 5, they growed, man, took off of growing, them trees did. One of them, one year, hit, I believe it was in about 58 or 9, along there, 58 or 9. I went up there and they was getting ripe, you know. I said, man, Lurie will get them sure as hell. Well, I didn't tell him nothing about it. Then I was working in the mine, but Lurie wasn't working, you know. He was bootlegging down here. So I laid off, oh gosh. I went back up there and I gathered all them there and peeled them. I didn't have to do that. I peeled them just like I was aimed to can them, you know. Peeled all of them and cut the seed out. And had a barrel hay full of them, you know. Took them around there and mashed them in that barrel. And boy, I run that off, and I believe it was, I forget what I got now, about 3 gallons we got of it. In Bud's apartment, old lady's, my brother-in-law married the old lady's sister, my first wife's sister. He was deputy sheriff down there, high sheriff down there in Dale County. He gave the high sheriff a drink of it, and the old county judge. But boy, here he come back, buddy. He said, I don't know what you got of that. I said, no, hell no. I said, I'm going to keep a half a gallon of it for myself. I let him, he said, they told me to tell, well, I let him have what I had, but what I wanted to keep, you know. He took it back down there, and here he come back again. So they told me to tell you if you'd make, they'd give you $50 a gallon for every drop of that you'd make. That was a lot of money back then, you know. That was in about 58, 59, something on it.
What did you and Lurie just make together and
He'd same place, you know. I'd have my barrel and he'd have his. Same, we'd use the same steel. I had a big old copper steel, my granddaddy's old steel. I went over to Virginia, that was back in the 50s. Mac Clifton had it, he bought it off my grandpa. I know the old steel. Well, I got it off Mac, he got old, you know, and couldn't get about much, and he was wanting some whiskey. He said, you bring me a gallon of good whiskey, I'll let you have that steel. Well, I took him a gallon, I didn't know where I got it. That's where I got a hold of it.
Where's it at now?
It's down behind us.
Being used?
No. It's the sheriff's office, I guess.
That's where they carried you to?
I ain't
know
fooled
you
with
ever
that.
got caught.
Yeah, I got caught in 70, buddy. I didn't. I stayed 6 days in jail. Wouldn't have had to stay that. I sassed that old judge down there and said, take him over here. And took me over and kept me till the very last day of court, buddy. It's 6 days till court's over here. Set me over there to keep me, hold I done that. Well, what made him mad was I told him, that old federal agent, 2 of them, Brown and that there other one, the Ewing Gardner. They swore lies on me like a dog trot. Made me so damn mad I couldn't stand it. But and he said something, and I said, them fellas are swearing lies like dogs. What fellas? I said, right there. I said, ain't you? I said, you know you are, both of you. And boy, he said, take him over yonder. Took me over to the jailhouse, London jail, you know. Kept me 6 days. Last day of court and brought me over and tried me in termination. Yeah.
I just put you on probation. Good night.
Put me on 5-year probation.
Well, I say.
Yeah. But I hadn't been for that, I wouldn't have had to stay today. I'd never been caught, see, first time. I wouldn't have to stay there. I went up. I figured he'd send me down to Terre Haute, Indiana, you know. And he said, well, he said, Mr. Hensley, said, you're 59 years old, right? I said, right. He said, I'll tell you what I'm going to do. He said, I'm going to put you under 5 years probation. Do you think you can pull it? I said, yeah. Yeah, I'll pull it easy. I don't know why I was stupid. Fooling with it, you know. I wasn't fooling with it. But boy, I'll tell you what, it gets off thinking sometimes.
I got a friend of mine down there, and he told me he had about 70 gallons buried there around his house. He said he had to have 25